What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the JoeyH podcast. Today, we got our sports analysis show with our special guest for the sports analysis show, Lucas Wheeler, fresh off a plane from New York City. How are you today?
Happy to be back home.
Uh,
Happy to be back home for sure.
yes, it was great holiday
Great
season
holiday.
and we actually linked during the holiday season. And we actually got to go to the Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium. But just to explain to everybody, Lucas is a huge Florida State football fan,
Go Knowles.
Tallahassee native. Okay.
5805
And
850 850.
yeah, and he is one, he's a huge Seminoles fan, and he is very heartbroken about how everything went down the college football playoff. And, when we went to the Orange Bowl, obviously they lost by 60 points. So I have decided to give Lucas a whole segment of how he feels about FSU, uh, and, missing out on the playoff and the Orange Bowl, so and their season as a whole. So Lucas, go right ahead.
First and foremost, thanks for inviting me on the podcast. Thanks for this 10-minute segment.
No problem.
I just want to say that this team was really fun to watch and just really fun to follow their journey through the season. I mean, 13-1 is nothing to be ashamed about.
Definitely.
That is a great record. That this year was a lot of fun and I enjoyed every second of it. That being said, the transfer portal and the NIL deals are going to ruin college football. The Georgia coach had to say something about it after he said something about the loss after the Orange Bowl game. He even said, that should have never happened, but people needed to see it. Because if you're going to allow 29 players to transfer out, opt out of the bowl game, what's the point of even playing the game? I think it's disappointing. I understand people have their reasons. People have their reasons to go to different schools. People have their reasons to opt for the NFL. People have their reasons, and you can't be mad about it, but you could be disappointed. And if I'm Mike Norvell, I'm putting that in the contracts next year. If there's any NIL deals next year, that if you sign up for FSU football, you're going to play every game that you're able to. If you're eligible to play, you're going to play. You're not going to transfer out. You're not going to opt out. You're going to play the game unless.
So here's my thing. I don't have a problem with opting out if you're going to the NFL. I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That being said, however, I don't fully support them transferring before a bowl game, opting out in that sense. I don't necessarily fully support that.
Me neither. I mean, I don't understand. Like, Tate Rodmaker, for example, when Jordan Travis was injured, sadly, and he had to step up, he stepped up, and Florida State fans were 100% behind him. Everybody was behind Tate Rodmaker, and he transferred out.
Mhm.
And then our third string quarterback, who is a true freshman, by the way, had to step up to the plate for whatever reason. And I'm sure he did not expect that,
Mhm.
but it's all right. It's fine. But I understand that people got priorities. If they want to go to the NFL and start making real money, by all means go to the NFL. If they feel like they've accomplished all that they have accomplished in college football, good luck in the draft, bro. Like for sure. But
Yeah, shout out to Keon Coleman. I have nothing but respect for the dude. He really like he's that. Yeah, I remember earlier in the season, Florida State posted on their social media that the woman on the airplane. I am telling you right now that
yeah,
Keon Coleman is not human,
no,
and
not at all, dude. He's
he
a
is
different
not,
person.
man. He
He's
is
he's gonna
something from.
be he's gonna be mid first round, mid
Yeah,
first
yeah,
round.
definitely going first round, and I got nothing but respect for the dude. He really gave his all, and
And I'm proud he finished as a Seminole. I'm proud he finished with us.
yeah, he
And
was at Michigan State his freshman sophomore year. Was here was at Florida State for 1 year, and is from I believe it's Opelousas, Louisiana. I think that's how you say it. So
I think
shout out
so.
to Opelousas. Not bad for Keon Coleman at all. Like he had a not bad season at all. So
Yeah. And I mean, like Florida State, in my opinion, week one Florida State, after beating LSU, they could have beat anybody. They could have beat anybody.
facts.
They could have beat that team could win the national championship.
Mhm.
I fully stand by that statement. I fully stand by that. That team was a real good football program. But things happen, people get injured, people transfer, people opt out. It happens. But I want people to understand like the same people who are like the reason we're out of the college football playoffs is Jordan Travis getting hurt are the same people who are comparing that team to the team with 29 opt-outs. It's not the same team at all.
Yeah, you can't really call it the same team, and I just yeah, I just I don't have any words. You just can't compare that.
You can't compare that. And like people just are saying FSU fans are really delusional that we wanted to be in the top four. Watching the whole season of FSU, sure, we didn't have the toughest schedule. We didn't play the hardest teams, but we passed the test. The test was win every game and you get in. That's the test.
ACC championship. I mean, come on.
ACC and win the conference, win every game and win your conference. That's the test. I understand. I agree. It should have been Michigan, Washington, Alabama, and Florida State. Alabama should be in there. I mean, they lost, so
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, they
Texas had a
beat you.
loss. I believe they only lost once this year. It was to Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah,
So yeah, but go ahead.
but and Alabama lost two this year to Texas.
Yes.
But I feel that Texas is really the reason. Texas really bumped us out of the playoffs. If Texas didn't beat Alabama, I think that Florida State would have been in there, but that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be, oh, if the doomsday scenario happened, what do we do now? But that shouldn't be the case. We passed every test. I mean, and then the committee says it's not the four most deserving, it's the four best. Then Georgia and Ohio have something to say too, because they were number one and number two all year.
I know. And well, I just to cap off this segment of Florida State, I do just, however, I want to like what was your initial reaction when were you watching it live?
I was not. I was out of town for
Okay.
I was on
Well,
a business trip.
when you first heard the news, like were
I
you
got a
angry? Were you
ESPN
sad?
notification. I texted my dad, who's a bigger FSU fan than me, actually went to Florida State. I texted my dad immediately and we called each other and we just yelled at the world for a little bit. Like
Yeah, I
cursing and
know. I
screaming.
feel you, man. I feel you. I was upset, I really felt like
Just felt robbed. We felt really like we just got
deservedly
overlooked.
so.
We just got overlooked.
And like that's the thing, like because you mentioned about Florida State and them being in the top, like being in the top four. I strongly believe the playoff you listed, Michigan, Washington, Alabama, Florida State, that was that was it
I
because
seriously thought that's what the playoff. I think everybody really thought that. I think everybody really thought that. Okay,
yeah.
this
And
is
I
the
mean, look, man, that the playoff. I mean, because this past weekend I got to watch the playoff at
I watched the
Alabama came right down to right down to it. And I mean, Texas, they came right down to it as well. But, Michigan and Washington, they were able to move forward. And, I just, I felt terrible for Jalen Milroe. I felt, look, I felt for Texas too. They were, but the thing was, a lot of people forget that Texas and Washington played in the bowl game the year before, the Alamo Bowl, I believe
yeah,
it
and
was, and
Washington won.
Washington beat them there. So and like I said in the last episode, Michael Penix Jr. is just he's a different he's a,
He's the real Heisman winner, in my
yeah,
opinion.
he is the real Heisman winner. I was pulling for either him or Marvin Harrison Jr. to win the Heisman, but yeah,
Sure.
it definitely one of those two. They should have won it,
I don't
but
know. I don't know how the committee was just all out of whack this year.
yeah,
I don't think anybody expected or really wanted Jaden Daniels to win. I know I didn't. I wanted Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix at the time of the Heisman talk. Bo Nix was doing real well.
okay, yeah. Well, just just to cap off this segment, I'll say that Florida State definitely deserved it, and it's just you can't really compare the team that we saw in the Orange Bowl. You cannot really compare to what they had all season. So,
Not at all. Not at all. You
all
can't
right.
compare.
Well, moving on. I was watching the NFL. Or you just yeah, I keep up with the NFL every weekend, and I'm a Dolphins fan, just so everyone knows. But um, the UFL, The Rock was on Fox NFL Sunday, I believe. With and he they him he announced he's the owner of the XFL, and he was with someone. I didn't know who it was, but it was someone from the USFL, I believe, and they announced that they are merging to be the United Football League. It starts
Huh?
March 30th. Notable players include De'Aaron King, who was the quarterback for University of Miami. The way it's going to work is they're going to have an XFL conference with four XFL teams and a USFL conference that's going to be four USFL teams. Now, De'Aaron King went to University of Houston for 4 years and then was at Miami for 2 years,
Mhm.
and I do remember him there, and he was a beast. And now and then also John Franklin III, who went to South Plantation, Broward native, was on Last Chance U actually with
Oh
East
my gosh.
Mississippi, um, and went on to go play for Auburn and then transferred to FAU and was in the NFL for a brief stint, won a championship ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yeah, he was quarterback, but now I believe he's a wide receiver. And next, I think a lot of people recognize this name. One of the best players to come out of IMG Academy, Bo Scarborough for the Birmingham Stallions, former University of Alabama running back. And yeah, that's also going to be good. And my initial thoughts about the UFL, in my opinion, is like, look, I've always felt like UFL, XFL, USFL. I feel like they should be like a like what the NBA G League is like right now, like a minor
Yeah,
league to
the
the
NFL.
to the
Yeah,
NFL because I remember Tua's rookie year, we drafted him like fifth overall in the draft. And a lot of I remember, people were kind of frustrated because Tua wasn't playing, but
yeah,
they didn't take into account it was COVID. They didn't have OTAs. They didn't have preseason games at all. They just jumped right into the regular season.
yeah.
But I feel like in that situation, like when you're starting rookie, that you like your starting quarterback
And you're
wants
trying
to
to
play.
shape them and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, like say, all right, say like Caleb Williams goes first in the draft and the Bears pick him, right? And okay, so say like, they're a minor league team. They have a minor league team, right? The Bears could send him to their minor league team if they don't want to, if they don't want him to start, right then, you know,
yeah.
and have like a veteran quarterback. They keep Justin Fields and have him play. Then why don't you have Caleb Williams go to the
And
minor
still
leads, the
like play some
UFL?
games, see how he is in a
Yeah,
bigger
get some
game.
reps in.
Yeah. Sort of like baseball too, sort of like the MLB,
Yeah,
their farm teams and stuff.
yeah. That's I don't know if they're gonna. It doesn't look like they're gonna keep the Orlando Guardians of the XFL, which I do remember they they had the former FSU quarterback on their roster last time I checked, DeAndre Francois.
Oh my gosh, Francois.
Yeah, yeah. He also went to IMG Academy. And
Yes,
yeah, and he was on their roster too, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna keep them, but but spring football, pretty cool. I'm not against it. Seems all right. Now,
yeah. Some to watch, some to watch.
yeah. Now on to the NIL. Now let me ask you, Lucas, do you love like the landscape of NIL of like where it is today, or no? Do you not love it? Do you love it
It's
like it?
it's a good concept and it's really good on paper. And I agree that college athletes should make money off their name. Because if we can bet on them in Vegas or on sports books or whatever, they should be making some profit off that, you know?
Definitely.
Or in general, they should just be making profit off of it. They shouldn't be left high and dry. But it does not seem to be working. It works when it works. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't work at all. When 29 players, it wasn't 29 that opted out because of NIL or transfers. I think it was around like half of that. So I think it was around like 14 players transferred out for better NIL deals. I'm pretty sure that was the report. Um, when there's 14 players opting out for that, that's when it's a little shaky and a little untrustworthy. Because if you're just chasing a paycheck, just go to the NFL. You know,
Yeah.
if you're just chasing a paycheck, but I don't know. I don't know. It works and it doesn't work. The NCAA needs to figure it out. And the NCAA needs to figure out what it wants to be right now.
Now, here's what I'll say. I love the landscape of NIL because these athletes, they went a very, very, very long time without being to well out making anything.
Yeah.
And now they're able to make as much as they possibly want. And I'm all for them making as much as they possibly want.
They, of course.
And
You
here's
can
my
still,
thing, like, because it's giving athletes, you know, like, all right, I'll give you a perfect example, like Angel Reese, who as a women's basketball player for LSU. I heard her say she's in no rush to go to the draft, the WNBA draft. She's
She's
in no
probably making
rush.
more. She's probably making more at LSU than she would in the NBA.
Yeah,
WNBA.
because the thing is like WNBA, they don't like yeah, compared to what she's making right now at LSU, she's not going to make because I mean, if you think about it, the WNBA, like their season is like the summer, basically.
Yeah.
And these WNBA players, they have to go and find other jobs. Like I mean, some of them go overseas. Like they'll go to like Turkey, Russia, play overseas there, or some might take commentating jobs. Some might do X, Y, and Z. Maybe they'll take coaching jobs, whatever. But that's like that's the thing. NIL has provided like so much of
Opportunity.
opportunity,
Yeah.
especially for women's athletes as well. It's skyrocketed. It's helped them a ton.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, her the Iowa player, I forget her
Caitlin
name.
Clark, yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, they're making a ton of money. For college athletes, for women's college athletes, they are doing very well. For college athletes, they're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't blame her for waiting out on the draft because the NIL, like you and me both said, it's a great landscape. It's great on paper, but we need to start figuring out rules and regulations and restrictions on what athletes can and can't do with their contracts.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I mean, my personal thing is like, look, I feel like, since they went a very long time without being able to profit off of, they couldn't even like sell their like game worn jerseys
Yeah.
or else they would be suspended. You know, since they went a long time, and it was wrong. I really feel like they should be able to make as much as they can. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean the highest I checked the other day. I checked on three the other day, and they have a top 100 NIL list, and number one was Bronny James. Their NIL evaluation $5.9 million. I mean, I know Arch Manning. Arch Manning.
Yeah. Archie Manning's making more than backups.
Yeah. I mean, look, hey,
And how much did he play
all
this season? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, all college athletes out there, God bless you guys. I hope that all of y'all, prosper and good luck to you guys. And yeah, try to make as much money as you can. Shout out, by the way, just a quick shout out. I have his jersey. I wore it last episode.
oh man, let's see
Yeah,
it.
yes, here it is, right here. I got his jersey, Alabama, Dallas Turner jersey. I
Oh
got
yeah.
one STA alum, and yeah, he's going to NFL draft next year. Just declared today, actually. So shout out to him, man, and yeah, good luck to him in the future. So, all right, now speaking of transfers, three bombshell college football transfers I wanted to lay on you real quick. I just want to get to you. DJ Ugalele transferred
I'm very excited. I am very
Oregon
excited.
State to FSU.
I'm very excited.
What?
He didn't he
Just when
didn't
you thought your quarterback situation was lost, here he comes,
I
DJ
mean,
Ugalele.
listen, FSU loves their quarterbacks. We're fully behind. We're fully behind 100%. Unless you do something to make us not support you, like transfer out mid-season or what it is, like or you just make a fool out of Florida State. We're fully behind you. I'm very excited to see DJ. He didn't finish the season out the best, three straight losses. I'm pretty sure it was three straight losses at the end of the year, but 8-4 record, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him play at FSU. Uh, I mean, all those 8 games that he won were great, great games, and all those 4 games that he lost were against good teams. So
Mhm.
I'm real excited to see him. I'm really excited to see him play.
Now, Dylan Gabriel transfers from Oklahoma to Oregon for his final year of eligibility. Um, Dylan Gabriel went to UCF for around 3 years. Yeah, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Went to Oklahoma for 2 years and now has announced for his final year of eligibility, he will be transferring to Oregon. And yeah, I'm excited to see how that's gonna pan out because he did have an amazing game against Texas this year when he was with Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So
that was a great game. That was a great game.
yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do there at Oregon, especially now he's replacing Bo Nix. So yeah, I'm excited. And also Trevor Etienne, he's transferred. And yeah, a lot of Florida Gator fans probably not going to be happy with this, but I don't have to worry about it because I'm not a Florida Gator fan. Nebraska, go Huskers, go Big Red. He transfers from Florida to Georgia. He's a Georgia Bulldog. Oh my goodness. And hey, listen,
It's
again,
like,
look, do what's best for you. Do what's best for you.
yeah.
But look, man, that that's hey, I gotta commend the guy. I gotta commend him.
Dude, that's like transferring from Auburn to Alabama almost.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. And like, because now, I mean, the way the new NCAA rule is, because back, 10 years ago, if you wanted to transfer, like,
You had to wait a year.
yeah, you had to sit out a year, unless you were going to like from D1 single A to D1 double A. But, and that's like, from Florida State to Montana State or something
Yeah.
like that. So, but, now you can transfer once, you won't have to sit out. And the new rule is if you transfer a second time and you're not a graduate student, you have to sit out a year.
Mm.
So personally for me, I've never really supported the whole sitting out a year thing. I've
Yeah,
never
me
really,
neither. Me
yeah,
neither. There
and
should be regulations on like when you can transfer out and like,
yeah,
you know,
and that's the thing. Like I remember there was this player from USC. I forget his name, but he transferred. He was going to transfer, but see, back then, also 10 years ago, they had restrictions on what schools they wouldn't let you transfer to. Like
really.
he was going to transfer, and they wouldn't let him go to any Pac-12 school or Notre Dame. So,
Wow.
like, I mean, see, that's the thing. Now, and listen, personally, never supported that at all. Like, whatever. Like, you want to go transfer, go ahead. But yeah, I'm I'm for it, man. Like,
I'm
listen, if
ready to
you
see it.
if you want to transfer, because you go to like not. I mean, well, before this rule, you go to like 5 schools in like 5 years, and like I don't have a problem with that. Like, whatever.
No, nobody really does. Nobody really does. I think there's
Yeah,
some stickler, like some old head sticklers out there, like make them sit out, but let the boys play. Let the boys play, ref.
yeah. You go to like, yeah. I mean, you could go to like Alabama, like then like Ohio State, Tennessee, North Carolina, like,
Go
just
all
like
over.
back to back to back to back to back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for it, and yeah. Well, that's pretty much all we have today for our sports analysis show. Lucas, I really appreciate you
Thank
for
you. Thank
help
you.
helping me do this, and I'm happy that I was able to let you you know talk and get what you needed to get out and about Florida
Yeah.
State. So hey,
It needed to be said. It needed to be said.
yeah, look, everything need to be said, and I'm happy you were able to talk it out, and so look, I'm happy you came on the show today, and
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
all right, well, that's gonna cap it off, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good one.